How are you, mate? Glad to be here. And how are you, Vandy?
I am pumped for today's skimmy.
It should be a good one. I say we've got a slight delay. It looks like we've had one team had to drop out, a few no-shows and a few AFKs. We were trying to find subs, but we still nonetheless have three teams duking it out for the Royal Rumble. The solo team sign up where the ranks and the roles switch all the way from bronze up to GM.
And that's what makes it a really exciting day today because, like you said, the skill level is so varied. They have to all kind of put it together to sort of take out the prize for today.
Prize at this one. We're looking at a coach, depending on who we can get. We'll have some coaches then feeding in towards the HGC, so the main event for the summer qualifiers. Blizzard running a lot of new events for this 2017 year, really amping up what should be another successful year, hopefully for Heroes of the Storm. And that will be coming and starting right here, same channel on Tuesday evenings.
Hey, just going to jump in there, guys. We've had some feedback from the community about the coaching prize, and it's looking like a lot of the players in most of the teams that have entered today actually are in teams of their own. So it's a question whether the team that wins at the end of today is actually going to stick together. So the coaching prize might actually be a little bit defunct. That's not the end of the world because if that is the case, well, Gamestah will have a bit of a discussion in the background, and we will talk about whether we can throw in a quick little cash prize, maybe some McDonald's money for the teams that play today and the one that comes out on top.
That's the one. That's the one. So we're going to try and jump into a game as soon as possible, I should say. We have what looks to be a draft for a map on Infernal Shrines between Team B and C. Whether or not that is the go-ahead, we'll get confirmation from the man himself, Morton. But until then, Vandy, any players from these rosters that really shine out for you?
I mean, there's been a couple of names that we've seen here and there in the community. It's good to always see. Every time we do one of these events, it's always good to see new players. But, I mean, like you were saying, there are a couple of sneaky names that sort of drop their name into the hat and that we know they're on teams, such as The Shadow and A Desired Moops. A couple of names there that we've seen that are on teams, but a couple of new faces as well. So I'm just really excited to see how everyone sort of meshes together. But no one that's just a standout to me because, let's be real, everyone's a standout in my eyes. Gold stars for everybody until I see them play. In which case, the stars might get revoked.
It should be a fun collaboration regardless. I say it's been a successful event that ran throughout the whole of 2016 and became rather acclaimed for sort of exciting mosh pit of craziness that really sort of took place over the day. Now, we do only have 3 teams, so it might not be the longest event. We're going to look for a round-robin styled format as opposed to the traditional Swiss format. I mean, we should then have a fair few games for you guys to sink your teeth in on this lovely Sunday day. Now, it looks like to me, B and C, we are going to have Hiccups versus Moops, both the captains for those two teams. Mm-hmm. So just waiting for those guys to get themselves organised. Slight delay with people turning up and rocking on in. But in the meantime, we'll go over this HGC bracket. So coming up on Tuesday, a 4-week league. It's going to be the best teams right now in the scene looking to try and acquire as many points as possible. And they're not forced to stick around for each week. But obviously, the more you do stick around, the more points feed in. The top 2 teams then go in through to the main finals themselves. And that's when our friends over at ANZ Heroes will be taking away the lead to bring you the grand finals on the 18th of February.
That's just what we want to see. That's going to be the big event. So every night on Tuesday night, for the next 4 weeks, is it? That's going to be the one to watch. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, as you said, we had a previous Royal Rumble by Morton, which was just so much fun in the day. And just seeing the strats that kind of came out as well, when just like, okay, they haven't been practicing together. They just sort of are a bunch of strangers, just put it in together. Just seeing what they came up with was just awesome to see. And I'm looking forward to more of that.
Well, trying to get those more grassroots tournaments really coming around. Now, ANZ had a bit of a rough time recently. I know as 2016 came to a close, we were down to an all-time low with teams. I think we only had about 3 competitive teams to really boot, and Reborn through their different iterations of switching from Negative Synergy to Reborn. They themselves have also switched up. So looking to try and see the scene from a grassroots level grow and the actual competitive circuit itself get bigger because, to be quite blunt, when ANZ have gone internationally, we haven't always had the best showing.
And like you said, it's just due to a little bit of a talent shortage. You can't get any better if there's no teams to practice against. And I mean, entering events like this not only helps yourself, but as you said, helps the community. And it's also just a lot of fun at the end of the day. I mean, why do we all play games? Because we think they're fun. And it just sort of all feeds back into just getting that community together and growing ANZ. Because like you said, that's what we all want. And that's what we'd like to see more of.
If you haven't already, definitely check out heroeslfm.com, made by the guys at Blizzard ANZ. Definitely a good way to find new friends and find out to get yourselves partied up with, get that XP bonus, and potentially find somebody that could be your duo partner when it comes to the Team League rankings, because you know the higher your ranking, the more that the opposite sex is going to like you. It's how it works in the real world, how it works in the gaming world. So clearly get yourself some ranks, feel good about yourself, and get that wee ego boost.
Oh yeah, get that ego boost in there. Are you on looking for more, Skimmy?
I am on Heroes looking for more, but see, nobody's added me, so I'm clearly not cool enough.
No, you gotta work on the rank first, and then everyone will come and knocking. Is that it?
Well, I'm Diamond 3, but I'm not Master, so I guess I'm just not good enough for people to consider.
Oh dear. Bit of the solo queue grind, and then there you go. You'll be having friend requests in no time.
That's it. I can just put that down on my CV and I can quit my job and go full-time. But until then, we're still waiting on these guys to get themselves ready up. I guess everyone's still waking up, still getting themselves in the zone. But until such time, we'll go a little bit more over this HGC bracket. So like last season, we had a big prize pool. This time it's going to be 20,000, which then feeds into the main event. So we got the first one coming up in March. It's going to be the Western Clash. And that will see teams going over to, I believe it's DreamHack in Sweden once more. So another chance for you to play some video games, earn some prize money, and be told that you can go overseas free because of esports. Not a bad gig. I'm getting the draft coming through now from Morton, so we will have a draft and a lobby going shortly underway, Vandy.
Oh, first game of the day, always the best game, Skimmy. So I'm just super pumped, super excited, can't wait. And then I guess any heroes, Skimmy, that you would like to see today play in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I think the sort of the meta itself has changed a fair bit. We're seeing a ton of Tychus right now, and we see a ton of that sort of Vala Oriel pairing together. The sort of the hope stacking, it just seems so strong. But definitely the big standout which has changed recently is the fact that Uther is no longer seen whatsoever, but Malfurion is like your go-to support. If Malfurion hasn't been picked, something has gone wrong.
Yep, Malfurion's really made a name for himself. Like you said, Uther's kind of fallen off the radar. I haven't seen him competitively in quite a while. And like you said, it's just due to the chain. Malfurion's just got so much more reliable heals, and just what he can bring to a team as well just sort of fits in, I guess, the dynamic that, as we said, we're sort of shifting away from just those stunlock comps and more into sort of teams that can outlast or just slow and sort of just set up, I guess, attacks that way. So it's really interesting to see. And the Fire Lord himself shaking up the Nexus for a while. We saw a lot of Ragnaros here and there, so much so that Blizzard had to kind of bring him into check, just reducing his numbers.
Turn down the oven. Absolutely. Whether or not we're going to see any Ragnaros, I'm excited to see some Rag today, but I definitely think we're going to see a ton of Malfurion, a ton of Tychus, and it's mainly because the tanky meta is really taking over. Now, it looks to be that Cursed Hollow is the map for this one, so we're going to get all the teams ready and rolling into this one. But in terms of picks specifically for this one, I wouldn't be too shy to say that we're going to see both ETC and Zeratul be high priorities when it comes to this ban.
Oh, yep, indeed. I mean, as well as just saying that on the tank meta, are we going to see any what's his name? The new one, the Zul'jin. Are we going to see any Zul'jin? He hasn't been. Are there any restrictions of being able to pick him, Skimmy?
Hey, I'll just jump in and answer that one. So ordinarily we ban new heroes for 2 weeks, but I guess the casual nature of today means that we won't necessarily. So I don't know how you guys feel about it. Maybe we can get some feedback in the Twitch channel as to whether we should be banning Zul'jin or not. And while I've got the floor, I'm just going to get up on screen a quick little road to the ANZ finals graphic, just for those who aren't exactly sure how the season is working. for a little bit of clarification. And this is something that we have put out on our Twitter before, just to clarify things. There are actually 2 ways to get to the finals, so 2 qualifiers, and the first qualifier is what Gamestah is running, and there up on your screen you can see right at the end there how to qualify. You play in the Gamestah Summer Qualifiers on Tuesday, starting from this Tuesday, the 17th of January. So if you haven't, if you're in a team and you haven't registered yet, jump onto gamestah.challenge.com and you can look through the series of tournaments there, and you'll be able to see exactly what it is that you'll be able to see the week 1 qualification bracket that you can sign your team up for there. If you're in a team and you're looking for more players to just bolster up your team, maybe you need a couple of subs, go on to heroeslfm.com and see if you can get an invite. And of course, you should be watching today. You might be able to pick up a new star on the Royal Rumble. And the last, if we take one more step back, of course, if you're just looking for a team, this is the day that you have to showcase your talents, and maybe somebody will pick you up and bring you into their team. And that's the road to the ANZ finals as far as the Gamestah Summer Qualifiers work. So the way things work on the Tuesday qualifiers, we play Swiss format brackets. You earn points for every match that you win in that Swiss format brackets. Over 4 weeks, the number of games that you play all add up to your qualification score. And if you're in the top 2 of the table at the end of 4 weeks, you will go through and qualify for those ANZ finals that will be hosted by Blizzard ANZ themselves. Now, of course, that's just 2 of the teams that go through to the ANZ finals. The other 2 teams that go through to make the 4 that will be competing in that in the ANZ finals, they will be qualifying through an ODC hosted by the boys and girls at ANZ Heroes. And that'll be hosted by Disconquer and I'm sure the rest of his team. So this isn't the only way to qualify. 4 teams go through, 2 go through the Gamestah Summer Qualifiers, and 2 through the ANZ Heroes qualifiers. So make sure you jump onto anzheroes.com just to check things out there and see the details of when their tournament is going to be running. Well, that's it from me. Hopefully, there you go. I can see I'm getting invited to a custom game. I'll hand it back over to you, Skimmy, and we can get today's first match underway.
Thank you there, Christ. I was going to say it better myself. Just to add to that final point as we get this lobby underway, we're going to have a map pool for the HGC kicking off on Tuesday. The official one decided by the guys at ANZ. They've actually banned away 3 maps in particular, ones that I'm sure you're not going to really miss too much, to say the least. We've got Haunted Mines taken off the table, as well as Garden of Terror and Blackheart's Bay. So the Swiss format that we will have will consist of predetermined maps from rounds 1 to 5. And that is, for this week, or coming up anyway, Sky Temple, Cursed Hollow, Towers of Doom, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Infernal Shrines. Now, let's get these guys underway, Vandy, because I'm sure just as you are, or just as I am keen to get some games, get that throat working, and get some words shouted at the screen.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, indeed. And it looks like, so we've got the Heroes Draft link up and ready? Yep, there we go.
The lobby begins.
Uh-huh.
Blue team banned first. It's a coin flip, so we don't know the players' names from the spectator side of things. And the great thing about this now is we can actually allow players to swap in-game. What a time to be alive. There goes the Zeratul ban, and I thought we we're going to see a lot of priority on that. Now, typically speaking, you would think Abathur would be taken away. Because Illidan is so lowly ranked now, it's much better just to take that Zeratul off the board. And there was no debating that, and no hesitation either, Vandy.
No hesitation. They were like, no, we don't want to deal with this. Zeratul's good for, I guess, creating a lot of havoc for a team, especially that's not what you want on a day like this, where you all just need to sort of focus and just sort of get into a rhythm, get into sort of the flow of playing with each other. And Zeratul's very good at sort of picking off solo targets, so I can exactly see why they didn't want to deal with any of that.
Now, to follow this up, how do they want to go from here? It's obviously still Tassadar, ETC and Dahaka left on the board, but no, they're going to go for the Flame Man himself. You mentioned him before, and Ragnaros, too much presence in this Royal Rumble, but instantly Thrall. The Earthquake changes have made him a little bit weaker, but still, I can't see that meaning that Thrall's going to be weaker anytime soon. But look at that, the instant response in Artanis. Well, he's a lot stronger than he was before.
I mean, they already sort of, I guess, have discussed their team comp because just the time taken to sort of pick and ban, they know exactly what they're going for. There's just sort of, I guess, building up their front line now and just sort of building up what they want to do. So I guess we're going to see a couple more tanks come out because, like you said, there's that meta coming along and they've already locked in Tychus. So already now, blue team's just in a bit of a position now where they want to make sure that they can deal sufficiently with the Tychus and Artanas.
Look at this, though, Vandy. No messing around whatsoever. Both Rhaegar and Thrall receiving 2 nerfs to their kit, making them slightly weaker for what was known to be the Orc comp or the Smork team, where you went the Bloodlust and the Earthquake together. Well, still, that pairing is there. They've got Diablo to add to the mix as well. APOC on top of absolutely everything. It is pretty disgusting to start things off here in the Cursed Hollow.
Pretty disgusting. I mean, yes, but on the other hand, I really like the way they're picking and banning at the moment, and as well as just sort of what their team comp in mind is. They've got a very strong lineup going together. Like you said, we've got the Thrall, Rhaegar, Diablo. Even though Thrall, Diablo have had a couple of changes, they're still very relevant and still very on meta. So they're good picks to have. But I guess what I'd want to sort of see now coming out on the red team is starting to lock in a little bit more of their damage. They have no, I guess, rush to sort of pick up a support, and they're probably going to want to save their ban for maybe some sort of mage to sort of limit what the blue team can pick.
Interesting. The bans that come out in this second wave, not the ones I would have gone for personally. I can see that Valor's been taken off the board. They've already had Tychus. Would have thought they'd have gone for that Malfurion ban. Obviously, has the Ice Block as well as the Twilight Dream to really disrupt the combination that we can see coming out of blue teams so far. But then a response from the red side, well, they went for ETC. Now they need some frontline to bolster and allow Artanis to do his job, but right now they think that ETC is not what they need. They don't want that global pressure. Maybe they're going to veer towards more unconventional like the Tyrael and Dahaka.
They could go Tyrael and Dahaka, but also Dahaka received a bit of a nerf, so we've seen him, I guess, fall off a little bit in play. But once again, yeah, they're grabbing the mages there, and I guess they want to just then round off with another sort of tank. They haven't locked in their support. They're in no, I guess, hurry. And like you said, but maybe if they want to secure that Malfurion, they better do it quick.
They're leaving the support almost to a flex pick. Yeah, they got 5 seconds left on the clock. There does go to Dahaka.
Oh, there we go, Skivvy.
That's
You're on the money.
I was going to say there's a big illusion here where no team have actually picked up a global, and it's one of the biggest maps in the game, so I would have been very surprised if that hadn't gone through, but Dahaka has come across, and especially the build that I've been seeing people use lately. Full heals, you do a ton of damage, but more so, you stay alive for that much longer.
It's all about just getting in the other enemy's team face, soaking as much of that damage as possible, and then just sort of burrowing in, and then just wasting their time. That's just sort of what Dahaka's great at doing, and what we love seeing him doing. But like you said, I'm worried about the lack of global now. But I was about to say, I'd be surprised if we didn't see a Falstad. And it wasn't just because they locked it in. It was literally going to be my next sentence.
There was the Falstad. They need it for the disengage. Allows them to set up as well with the slow, allowing him to go for the entire CC combination. But what's more, I didn't realize Lahal was actually in this game. There's Lunara.
Just Lahal things. Are we going to be seeing them pulled out? I mean, I love Lunara. I think she can really excel, but she needs to be careful because if they lock her down, she's going to drop quick. And I mean, with Artanis, Tychus, leaving Dahaka, like, she's got a work cut out for her. So she just needs to play safe and just kite and wait for her team to go in.
Does indeed, but she's going to have a great time. The amount of slows. So we look at this, Vandy, we got Thrall, we got Rhaegar, and we have Falstad. So many ways of controlling the fight, allowing Diablo to then charge into whoever he free wills wants to go for. And then Lunara doing what she does, well, guess what? She has a slow as well. So much control right now. When it comes to poke, at least, it does seem to be in favor of the red side, but definitely in terms of straight-up teamfight control, I'm looking at this blue side and I'd be very scared if I was going up against that.
I would too. I mean, it's just, I love both teams. Like I said, I think they've drafted really well and they kept the map in mind. It's all just going to be about playing smart, and just who gets to the objective and gets to set up first as well will be a big advantage to either team. I mean, that's generally a given, but you don't want to get locked down, like you said, and especially early when you're running in.
The fact that Malfurion got last picked Well, what a time to be alive, folks. ANZ drafting at its finest. Some things never change, and we have our own unique meta down here, so don't be too baffled by that one, but looks like we're ready and jumping on in. Quick recap of the teams. We'll start on the left-hand side. It's the blue squad, led by Frau, played by O Desired. Moops on Rhaegar, Zeppelin on Diablo, Avatar playing Falstead, and Mad Hacks rounding things off there on Lunara.
And on red team, we've got Hiccup leading the crew, Hiccup on Altana, Cyclone on Li Ming, Tommy playing Malfurion, MKL on Tychus, and CZN1 on Dahaka.
There we go. Looking forward to a lot of unique picks coming out of today. So much has changed since we last did a cast together, Vandy. Looking forward to it. And we'll be kicking straight off here on Cursed Hollow. But look at this already. 5 members of the blue side sticking as a squad, looking for that gank rotation. And, well, it seems to be almost a similar setup coming right now from the red side. MKL did go for the turret, and it looks like a collaboration is going to meet in this mid-bush. MKL is a bit far out. No, the party bush tricks are just starting off here, 20 seconds into this game.
Oh my goodness, who's going to pop in and just say hello? I mean, I guess they're going to have to break for lane soon, but it was very interesting. At one point, it almost looked like there was going to be a collision happening.
They do go for this now, they will have the advantage because Dahaka has already borrowed up to the top lane. They're still playing it so patiently, waiting for the rotate. Hiccup is going to come across. He does get rooted straight into the flip. There's the damage. He dashes across. Not going to be enough, though. His life is sealed, but look at that entangled roots capturing free. Avatar gets the barrel roll across. He's on 20 health, but it's not without Thrall dropping as well. Zeppelin, being the righteous tank that he is, says, I will protect the team. I will drop, but no! Tommy with the sniper gets the gun across, and Moonfires another member, and red team say, nice gank bush. Watch this play.
Oh, it just went so wrong for them. The fact that it was Artanis that they focused all their damage into was just horrible to see. And, I mean, Artanis' shield just gave him enough for his team to just be like, hey, what's going on here? And boom, Li Ming came across, Tommy came across, MPL came across, and it was just... Oh, Crown Fiesta? Excuse me. I believe
what
the
about
word you used.
Root, though? I mean, come on. Who says support's time? Plays were made on this day, and well, we're already looking at another route coming across straight on towards Frog. Just run back to lane, already down to half. Avatar actually going to drop as well. And, well, it's an exciting bot lane engagement right now. I wouldn't have expected to see Falstead down there, given that it's Moops up in the top lane up against the Harker, but the chaos is definitely in favor of red side as blue rock up now for a gank.
I mean, as you said, that root just doing so much work and getting so much value. The changes that they made a while back to actually make sure that it was more reliable in terms of how it rooted just really helped Malfurion, I guess, in making sure that he could snare well. So you really got to watch out for that one nowadays.
I'm going to go for a gank once again to Harker. Well, his burrow is down this time. He's still going to make it out, though. Gets the drag. Pulls in Diablo, and the Lord of Terror goes, a simple scratch on my skin, and he runs away. Oh, look at that classy Amani War there. It's a pay-to-win skin right there.
It's very, very pretty. And it looks like we've got the first tribute spawning now, Skimmy, so this is where we're going to see a bit of a brawl happening. I mean, we've got a little bit of an experience deficit starting to happen here, but it's nothing too bad at the moment. They can still pull it back very easily, but it was well played by the red squad to pick up this siege camp to at least put some pressure on the bot lane while they fight this out.
I was just going to add to that from the macro side of things. Definitely they've got the advantage. The tribute is in the top hand side. They've got that pushing for them. Look at this from Dahaka, literally burrowing 50 centimeters away, and Moops, well, completely tilted by that one. Tries to be the hero, but he's not the hero that Gotham deserves. Looking for the swap, and they do find him. The root comes across, but this time does not connect. Zeppelin is going to join the party. Runs on into 3 members, but the whole of blue team is so low, and they need a support, but look at their support. The Wolfman himself drops. He tried to do the 1v4, and that looks like your classic ANZ quick match right there.
I mean, it was just, I guess, a miscommunication. Rhaegar just sort of went in, saw someone low, thought he could take him out, and here we go, Cyclone popping Avatar. Well played. Well, good pick up there. And that's what we need to see more of. Zeppelin making the engage now, Skimmy.
Oh, he is making the engage. He's going to run away, though. Avatar's going to try and have other words about that one, but look how low both sides are. Already Dahaka's given up. He's gone through to mid lane there, just trying to soak as much as they can. Still in the bot side, those golems are taking away towers for free, but Falster drops. Look, it's just a clown fiesta like we said before, Vandy. Stuns, low health members, no mana, and they want more. They're going to try and get onto Tommy. He's down to 70 with the lightning, but it's not going to be enough to take his life away. After all is said and done, Blue do pick up for the reward, and they're going to try and stabilize here. Half a level down, but definitely not out of this one.
Not out of this one. There was a very good recovery by the blue team, and yes, they lost a team member in the process, but they picked up that all-important tribute. But down in the bottom lane here, Dahaka causing a lot of strife with that siege camp left unchecked. He can push really, really hard, Skimmy, because he's taken the primal aggression talent, which means that his Dark Swarm deals increased damage to minions. So he's going to be aiming to get that split push up the entire game.
And whilst we're on that topic, Vandy, I'm glad you brought it up. We've actually got Hero Stalker taken at 4 now. Usually speaking, we see the minions get increased essence. He's actually gone for the takedown, so definitely looking to get kills once again. But look at that, Rhaegar taken across in the rotation. An unfortunate time to drop away, but somehow, some way, it was a bait, and Odeside sneaks that one in.
He snuck it in well, but Zepline in a lot of trouble. He just couldn't get in. Did you see, I guess, the placement of the root? He just saw if he went into there, he would have gotten root and, I guess, killed. And if he just moved into the team, he would have gotten killed. So he was really caught between a rock and a hard place there.
I like how he tried to dash out and still run away, but with 4 members on him, you're not that tanky. You're trying to play the role just a little bit too by the book.
You're not getting out of that one. But here we go. They're all collapsing on Dahaka now down the bottom. But he's trying to burrow away, and he gets the burrow off successfully. See you later.
Slippery man right now. CZN1, he's doing work on this battlefield. And as a result, I mean, they're a full level up. This is a team, a blue team, that really is relying on this level 10 to hit their power spike. And right now, they're losing in terms of these engagements from the ganks. And they're pushing them in the top lane.
I mean, they're getting really pushed down, and I mean, now they're getting that experience lead, and with the third tribute coming up, they need to be worried because, as you said, level 10 is looming now, and once they get it, they'll just need to back off and just sort of play it carefully.
Oh, we get a pause coming out here by Hiccup. Not too sure what the go is on that one, but let's take a quick screenshot of the map. Okay, so we've got 2 seconds on this tribute about to spawn. Moops is right by it. The whole of the red team are only meeting the mid lane now. They've got a night camp pushing in towards them. Now they do need to get towards this tribute because they are at a 2... I mean, they're at a 2 tribute disadvantage. If they get this one, they're going to have a curse against them, and it's really going to sort of disrupt this level 10 advantage that they've gathered for themselves. I mean, at this stage, God knows why Hiccups has paused.
Maybe he wants to take stock of the map as well, or you know, maybe there's a bit of lag going on. But exactly as you said, the blue team's in quite a good, I guess, sort of situation, minus that their tank is just on the top half of the map still. But like you said, there's another thing that they need to deal with, the night camp pushing in on mid, and really, like you said, they want this tribute. They want to take it away because that's what's going to help stabilize and bring the blue team back into the game and just sort of, I guess, smooth over that experience deficit we're seeing at the moment.
I would not be too surprised to see if Dahaka just chills in the mid lane, clearing out as much as he can with that primal aggression. The rest of the team do need to get there as pronto as they can. 2 seconds, like I mentioned before. Moops is ready to channel straight away, so if the rest of the blue team can distract, they don't have Gus, still not 10, but they do have enemies in that choke point ready to try and keep them at bay. Diablo is lagging quite far behind, but he can rock up at the party, and he can try and disrupt a little bit more, but we're going to see how this one all unfolds now. Looks like the entire side of red team is going to go for the rotate. Moops is already on the channel. He's halfway through there. They're going to disrupt them as long as possible. He's definitely get this cap. It's going to be a trade, though. Falster does drop. Like we mentioned, Diablo's going to rock up to the party just a little bit too late, and once again finds himself in a familiar spot, a root, 5 members. He's going to go for the run. He's got his Usain Bolt on, but no, 80 health is all it said, and he is going to get taken out in the end.
He got taken out, but it was for the greater good. But if they're not worried now, the blue team could get collapsed on from behind, but it's all right. They saw that coming, so they just took the objective and they fell back. That was quite well played. They didn't overstay their welcome. And in fact, Hiccup taking a lot of damage there just by poking his head out.
Yeah, they're really trying to force that level 10 advantage, but you know, they've lost the curse, and as a result, they're going to passively lose XP. You can see top 4 already about to drop. The Haka forced the bar away, so straight away it's a 4v5. Different engagement does come across now. Blue team so close to level 10, looking to mount a siege in the mid lane, and they spotted 2 members. The Wolf does not connect, but if it had, definitely a different story could have been unfolded there. The laser drill popped preemptively, doing as much to hold on to this fort. It is going to drop. There is no minion wave to save it. That's trying to force the engagement, but 10 has now been acquired, Vandy.
Odeside making me guess with his Thrall ultimate. He hasn't taken it yet. He finally took the Earthquake. I was like, is he going to take Sunder? Is he going to take Earthquake? As we saw, Earthquake's changes weren't enough to deter him for it. It's still very useful, just the cooldown was really adjusted. So it's still very, very durable. You just need to, I guess, know when to use it. You can't just throw it willy-nilly anymore.
Well,
and that was a good, strong push.
Next, we've actually got Hinterland Blast being taken, Vandy. No Gus today. Pure, flat-out aggression is the name of this game.
I'm not sure if I agree with that one, Skimmy. I would have liked to see Gus, but I mean, if he's feeling confident that he doesn't need it to sort of disengage, then more power to him. And I mean, any damage is good damage, as far as we're concerned.
Definitely one of the best maps to pick Gust on, because you can do sneaky things like Gust him off the boss and take it away, but take it away they're done regardless of that. Trouble. Absolutely, Cyclone goes in for the cheeky invade on his own jungle, but he's going to get taken out regardless. The poison comes across, but no, Tommy has the heal. There goes a big suppression pulse coming across onto all members of the team, as well as the APOC. It's going to try and connect across right now. It's a 1-kill advantage. The Hinterland Blast connects, but doesn't really do too much right now. Earthquake is chunking people down, but once again, Rhaegar in the middle of Africa trying to take on everybody, thinking he's a damage when he's actually support. Getting a bit confused with what role he's playing there, but in the end, it is a 2-for-1 trade. Maybe not actually finished, because Hiccup's going to rock up and say hello to Desire. Gets swapped. Tommy says hello, and they party at the disco. 3-for-1, and a great trade there for Red Side.
Great trade, and then meanwhile we've got the boss slapping down, but it wasn't that worth. I mean, they really shouldn't have pursued Li Ming that much. As much as we wanted to see, I mean, they picked up the kill, yes, but it was just not worth with how many team members they lost. And once again, Tommy just MVP there, just the heal to save Cyclone, and then just poor Mad Hacks getting caught out on Lunara. He was just stuck in a bit of a strange spot when Cyclone didn't die. He's like, oh, well, now what do I do now?
Andy, this is rough though. Avatar, he's got no money. He has gone for the auto attack build, so it's not going to hurt him as badly as it would otherwise, but still, they started the boss. Hiccup was patiently waiting there, knowing, well, what else is their play? Every other mercenary camp has been taken, and the tribute is going to spawn in his bot lane. Now it's a 5v5 assault, 0-0. Swap not going to come out this time. Hiccup deciding to hold it against, rightfully so. It is Diablo. You don't want to bait that one out. Avatar has actually recalled. Now, whether or not the red side know this, he does have flight available, but they're going to try and delay for it as long as possible.
Oh, and CZN trying to get, I guess, a bit of a pull there. I mean, they don't need to, they just want to poke, I guess, but it looks like Red Team might secure their first tribute for the game. Yeah,
in no position whatsoever to contest that one. You can see that both people are challenging it, and MKL on the side there. Well, the rest of the blue team were not pushing in together, and they're going to have to sacrifice this one. And it's not the end of the world. They're going to go for that night camp. They're going to trade off. It looks to be a keep, or fort, sorry, in the mid lane, because both towers are being assaulted onto now. Trading out the mercenary camps. Dahaka is still in the bot lane. He does have Dig available, whereas Fausto doesn't, so try and mount an assault and force the 4v5.
Oh my goodness there. Look at all that damage popping right out on Tychus.
That is the disgusting composition I was talking about. It goes across APOC into Sundering, or into Earthquake. I'm getting myself so minced on these metas, but here we go. The kills come out across. Frowell does get taken out. He does go for the side flank, but Tychus is the response. And they're going to trace on. Cyclone nearly dead from the poison, but he does get a lovely little hill coming across from mouth. Artenis bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. Adaptation was popped, and this is going to mean that CZN is quite low now. He doesn't have many stacks. He does actually have 50 now. He can stick around for a little bit longer. The root does connect, but there's little damage. Cyclone on the flank, trying to get an Arcane Orb. Once again, though, you can see how aggressively Moops is playing. And is this the demise of him once again? No, the burrow comes across, and it is a complete, utter clown fiesta.
It was quite, good, and in the end it was just a little bit sloppy on both teams. But I mean, as we said, it's going to be the nature of the game. They're not professional teams here today. They're just pickup groups. So although they might have seen each other in quick matches or in ranked here and there, they haven't actually played with each other until today. So no dramas there. But look at this, the boss call. Exactly right. Look at this, Skimmy, the boss call down there. That's very, very sneaky by the red team right there. They just saw an advantage with all members sort of showing top, so they went for it, essentially.
They don't know. Avatar's only going to rock up now, and he's like, oh, guys, they're actually taking our boss. They just made the play that we made against them. Not much we can do. Moobs rocks up. The rest of the team are in no position to respond. Lunara does actually get the siege camp in the top lane, try and evening out the map balance, but still, boss is going to mount an assault here in the bot lane, and a great place for the boss to be because the tribute is spawning there too, and they can even solidify this lead by hitting 16 and having the pressure of a looming curse too.
Exactly right. I mean, that was just such good boss timing, because as you said, there's going to be really no contestation for this second tribute, and then it looms to the next tribute fight, and that's what they're going to be wary of. But they're going to be perhaps a talent behind, depending on how they play this one. They really need to get into lanes and just start soaking, getting some of their experience back. It's not all about the fighting, because Dahaka just doing so much work with his burrow and just getting his team that experience.
12 minutes into this game, we'll have a look at the damage so far, and leading the assault on the side of red team, Artanis. #1 hero damage there, 24k. As we then look at blue side, and the top dog for them right now is Fausto, only closely followed up by Lunaris. So Tahaka is forced to go to the top lane, and they're going to utilize that global as much as they can. Boss was taken out in the bot-hand side. Their golem, well, actually their boss, sorry, has now respawned in that top right section. Definitely a talking point for when this next curse spawns. I'm looking for a big fight to take place. Now, 15 is currently the level of the blue squad. They are so dangerously close to 16. And you can imagine they're going to try and delay this one for as long as possible. If they win, that is blue side. You can see them taking the curse, rushing a boss, and taking a keep in that top lane.
I think that's the plan that they want, but we can see, I guess, these guys, they want to deal with the threat in the mid lane, and they want to try and get level 16, but already they're an offensive apocalypse going down.
Yeah, APOC had to be used extremely early there to try and actually keep them off. They weren't in any position, but there goes the laser. A great zoning tool, dropping Mad Hacks quite low so far early on, but look at the drag coming across to go for the kill, but there goes the Earthquake now, and every damage member gets taken out. The Twilight Drain followed by the damage, and it looks to be that straight away Thrall taken out of this one, but look at the Hinterland Blast. Avatar's going to try and do work on the side. He's going to go for the MKL pick, but he gets down to 140. This time the Entangling Roots does not connect. And
look at CZN in the corner here.
Looking for it, but yeah, like you said, CZN comes on in. He gets the drag. He's looking for the kill. Does he have any heals? He has the burrow and he has the incubation. The essence is popped. He's looking for support. He's calling for that mouth, saying, "Heal me, please." And the Entangle comes across. They take out another member, make that free. Now looking for the fourth. They've got the curse. They take out Lunara as well, and they get the incomplete ace. 10 to kill, 5 gone. This surely is game over. Red team commanding that lead in that fight.
This is going to hurt. I guess where it just sort of went wrong, although they needed to use Apocalypse to stop it, it really just gave them, I guess, no follow-up in the team fight once they engaged. The Draken Laser Drill was just too good at zoning them. And then, as we saw, just like, it was just disruption all around, and exactly what Dahaka did, just sort of sitting there and getting away with it with his burrow too. That's just the, I guess, worst feeling of all as well. Desire trying his best to defend you now, Skimmy, but I don't think it'll be enough. Another keep is probably going to fall here. Yeah,
they're looking for more. They get a suppression pulse to try and disrupt once again. He's going to run straight into an Entangling Roots. No, he does dodge it slightly. Desire trying to be the hero, but he just bites off more than he can chew. 1v5 seems to be a bit of a story for the side right now. They have such a heavy AoE ultimate combination synergy between them. They're trying to make it happen, but this time they're going to go for it. APOC into Bloodlust, make it rain with damage right now. Mad Hacks is trying to kite as much as possible, but the Twilight Dream, so huge, completely interrupts what they tried to set up there. They flipped that fight on its head, taking out 3 members straight away, and they said, "We're just here for your keeps, but now we're here for real. We're taking out your core."
Exactly. Hiccup just causing so much disruption, just being so durable with his shield as well. Every time they tried to get him down, the shield would proc, and then once again, it was just wasted time, wasted damage. It's really not the guy you want to be prioritizing. As much as Artanis hurts, he should not be your priority target. As you said, Malfurion, Tychus, hopefully you can drop those guys, then you worry about the rest.
Well, there you have it.
Skimmy.
Game number 1. Red team taking a convincing win, I'd have to say. 25 kills to 7, level 20 to 17, slightly skewed by the amount of faults and keeps they took at the end. A rather close game otherwise, but a composition that we thought from an AoE standpoint when it hit ultimates was going to be in favor of the blue squad, but definitely red team, they had it down to a fine art with the silence, with the roots, with the drags, and finally with the laser drill to allow Artanis just to snipe members wherever he can.
Exactly right. And I mean, that's just sort of where it went. We saw a little bit of, I guess, a comeback by Moop's team, just like getting themselves together. But once again, it was just, it was just, I guess, the setup needed, because a lot of the time they were just rocking up to the tribute late in the later team fights, and that just really hurt them. They need to be there before, so the Tychus had to put his laser drill away from the tribute, and then it was just sort of, I guess, it was just not doing much then. But once it was on the point, we could just see that drill doing so much damage. Lunara trying to get in and poke, but couldn't even get in there. It was just such a good zoning tool.
It felt like from a point control, it just seemed to be red team just had it down pat. They had Artanis able to jump in, they had the laser, they had the roots, they had all these ways of setting up and fortifying that position, whereas it seemed to be that blue side, if they weren't there in the right time, as we saw, APOC had to be popped as a panic to try and delay. It brings out one crucial part of their composition, and if they can't go and be all these big bloodlusted members and punch on and find the instant kill. Well, they seem to suffer, and they suffer quite hard there. But we're going to jump to a quick commercial break. Thanks, guys. We'll have another game coming up right after this. But for the meantime, we'll see you after this.
Hey guys, just before we go to the break, I'll jump in there. So we have some weird behavior going on with Twitch. We've set the stream delay to 2 minutes, and it's actually about 13 minutes at the moment. So we're going to drop the stream and wait for that to play out on Twitch, and then we'll bring it back up and hopefully reduce the delay down to something manageable. We do apologize for the technical difficulties. Not sure what's going on with our Twitch streaming at the moment. It's something that we've never experienced before, so hopefully we'll be able to sort it out and bring you game number 2 in, well, just a few moments after the current stream ends.